How you doing, guys? Okay, I'm a little bit off schedule for this, but doesn't matter, I don't think. But anyway, welcome to the seventh edition of Tim Shelf. Seems it's April Fool's Day, or it was anyway. I'm gonna review today an April Fool's Day themed horror film. And that horror film is a DVD of Slaughter High by Arrow Video. Okay, so the story is pretty routine. School nerd Martin Vanson is being bullied at high school, and okay, they play a rather cruel April Fool's Day prank on him, thinking that he's going to get laid. But they videotape him when they shout April Fools, and they videotape him naked and having his head pushed down the toilet and stuff like that. Later on, two of the bullies apologise and get put on detention to Marty, and they give him a joint which is laced with explosives, causing him while doing one of his science projects to run out of the laboratory puking up, and while he's puking up, the main bully he sneaks into the laboratory and puts the remainder of the explosives into one of the substances that Marty needs. Anyway, when Marty returns to his project, the remaining explosives go off, causing the laboratory to go on fire, and rather foolishly, he instead of running out for help and setting off the fire alarm, he tries to deal with it himself. Anyway, this causes a domino effect, and a big bottle of nitric acid falls from one of the shelves and hits Marty in the face, and it disfigures him for life. Now, 5 years later, all the bullies, they get invited to a class reunion at that school, but when they show up, they find the school in disrepair, and they decide to go in and trespass anyway, and go over old times, and they find a whole load of booze and stuff and food, but that food and the booze, some of the booze is laced with explosives, and that's where the fun begins, and someone who drinks one of the cans, his guts explode, and this starts off the fun where where people get gruesomely killed, impaled on coat hangers and crucified, and they get dissolved in acid baths, and get mutilated with lawnmowers, and get electrocuted and stuff and impaled. I first saw this back in the day on the Western Video label back in the day, and anyway, so when I was a child, this film For some reason it scared me half to death. But looking back on it now, I think this movie is completely shite. Done by the same guys who did Pieces and Slugs. Okay, there's some really good gore sequences in it, but the whole film doesn't make any sense. In a derelict building, why would there be water running and stuff like that? And also there's a lot of continuation glitches. Why would there be still locker rooms there, and why on earth would after the clubbing the killer, why would one of the protagonists be dumb enough to leave a baseball bat while he's unconscious right next to him? Okay, so quite a good quality DVD. This version from our video, I'm not sure whether it's still in print or not, but this version is completely uncut. It has an irreversible sleeve with this version of the cover. This is the original cover back in the day, and here's the cover for 2011. And also we got a catalogue of all our video stuff, and also this nice little booklet. Okay, and also there's a double-sided poster, nice little poster which I've got up on my wall, and there's an interview with the composer Harry Manfredi, moderated by Cam Waddell, and an interview with Josephine Scandi and by Justin Kurzweil, and also there's an introduction by Mark Ezra. Also there's also so an interview with Callum Munro on it, and also there's an audio commentary by Callum Munro, also Alan Bryce, Callum Waddell. Also there's an audio commentary by Mark Ezra as well. The film is absolutely rubbish. It's right now compared to when I watched it as a child, but great gore effects. It is fun, but it is fun. There are a lot of fun jump scenes in it if you're a fan of the jump scenes. Anyway, so that's Slaughter High for you. Okay, as I said before, I'm not sure whether it's still in print or not, but anyway, I do believe that that it's coming out to Blu-ray very soon. I'm not sure what's going on, whether there's a fight with our video investor over the rights or not, but anyway, we'll see what happens with that. So anyway, I hope everyone had a good Easter and a very fun April Fool's Day, and have a nice bank holiday weekend, and As always, I'll see you soon in another video.